Hi, it's Pastor Andy with another sermon teaser. And this week, as I begin, I want you to imagine the scene where a royal figure is about to enter onto the scene. And we've seen this in movies and television and even on the news. When that happens, somebody comes forth first to announce the presence of this king. And this grand announcement that is made is done so for a couple of reasons. Number one, to make sure that everybody's ready, that nobody misses this special moment when this person arrives on the scene. But number two, to make sure that everybody knows who that person is, that this isn't just another person walking out into a room or something, but it is indeed a royal figure. Well, God gave an announcement upon his coming, but he did so through John, not just in the moment, but he did so preparing for this moment by prophesying or by telling others to prophesy and to say that this would happen some 800 years before John did come on the scene. And then God sent a reminder about 400 years before John came on the scene. And well, John, whom we call John the Baptizer, he was a little unorthodox, a little eccentric, we might say, but he knew his role and he did it well. And what he did was he announced the coming of a king, the Messiah, whom we call Jesus. And when this royal figure shows up, the Bible reminds us in Philippians 2 that Jesus didn't just come on the scene and with these high and mighty expectations because he was God, but he came not considering his equality with God something to keep him from identifying with the people, but rather to help him to identify with the people, the cause of identifying with the people and the need to do so. And he did so in these first verses in a couple of ways. Number one, he was baptized. Number two, he came and was tempted. He was taken from the baptism to be tempted, or we might say tested, to be right before he began his ministry. And while baptism is not salvific in and of itself, it is an important step in the life of a believer. If Jesus thought it was important enough to do, we should as well. But for us, even though we might not be royalty, these three aspects, having the way prepared or preparing the way for others, not the Messiah, but for others to come to the Messiah, for us to be baptized and for us to go through a time of testing or even temptation so that we might be better prepared to serve is an important part. So that's what we're going to look at this coming week on May the 1st. I hope you'll be with us as we look at Mark 1, verses 2 through 13, as we continue to explore Mark to see Jesus in a Jewish perspective as Yeshua, his name would be, but also the opportunities that came to him and therefore how we might respond as well. Look forward to seeing you then.